na maumayayan, St. Peter's and Dongjin. I want to invite anyone who can't hear, because the acoustics are not great. We love our building, we love our Thunderbird house very much, eh? We love it. But sometimes the acoustic's not so great. So if you want to, please come, bring a chair, come up here. Don't feel that you have to stay all the way back there. I invite everyone, there's lots of space over here, space over there. And also if you want to see the slides, I'm going to be showing slides and other things like that. How many people here are, for the very first time, come to some sort of event involving I Don't Know More? That's what I'm curious about right now. How many people, the very first time? I see some hands in the back. Okay. I see a hand up here. I see a hand over there. Alright, perfect. Everyone give those people a round of applause for coming. How many people in their lives have been to a round dance? Give me a round of applause. You've been to a round dance. Alright. How many people here brought McDonald's to the feast? There's over there, I saw that. The Manikisak family over there. Where's Brennan? There's Brennan. And he's going for seconds too. That's impressive. Okay, I just wanted to publicly embarrass Brennan any chance you get. Okay. I want to ask a question that's a little bit more serious to everyone. How many people had an opportunity tonight to give some tobacco to those pipes that did that work for us? Put up your hand if you gave some tobacco for those pipes. Almost all of you did. Yeah. Okay. If you weren't here to share in that knowledge of why you gave that tobacco, the question might be, why did you give that tobacco? Why were people coming around and giving you tobacco to give for those pipes? Well, my brother Jason over here, had an opportunity to explain, and some of you might have not heard that. But what he said is he talked about that tobacco as being our connection to all of us. And all of us are in those bowls wherever they are now. And Jason will continue to do that work and take that tobacco forth and do other work with it. So we will travel with him. So do you know what that is? He's going to use that for that pipe. That pipe is going to go forth and do all of that work. Well, that tobacco is a pipeline. That tobacco is a pipeline that goes all the way forward into that work, but it also traces us all the way back to all the people that have given gifts for us to be here tonight. So that tobacco is the real pipelines that need to exist in this country. We made a pipeline tonight. And it is a pipeline of beauty and of love and of giving and ultimately of community. And those are the kind of pipelines that we want to make in this tonight. So I want us to think about that as we go. Tonight I'm going to talk about treaties. And I just realized that my father is here, so I'm sure to be judged on this. So there he is over there. Everybody know over there? So literally judged over there. And so I want to acknowledge him, but I also want to acknowledge my daughter who is at home tonight. And I wish she could be here with me, but I do this work for her. So Namiji and the Benz Miigwech. Tonight I'm going to talk about the gift of treaties. How many people, I want you to think for a minute, how many times in your life, today with that tobacco, throughout your whole life, how many times have you given a gift? More than you can count. You know that little holiday we had last month, remember what culture you come from, what religion you come from? Every single part of that involves giving a gift, whether it be the winter solstice. How many people have ever gotten a gift that they didn't like so much? Yeah? Okay. What was it? An ugly sweater? What's that? Oh, you got a mask for Christmas. Oh, you got Old Spice. Perfect. All right. Who gave you Old Spice? Okay. And what did you do with the Old Spice? Okay. All right. And what about that other gift, right? So anyone ever got an ugly sweater? Right? Anybody ever gotten something like that? Well, When you receive a gift, what's the job of you getting a gift? You gotta thank somebody, right? And why do you thank them? That's right. So you respect them, so you honor them, right? I want us to think of tonight about gifts, and the gifts that you gave when you gave that tobacco, because that tobacco came forth, and that was your gift to the night. You brought food, and the job of the food that all of us, what's our job to receive that gift is to eat it. And some gifts, as you can see, are liked better than others, but we all partook in those gifts, right? We're talking about that, those gifts that we receive, every single one of them is a gift. And that gift that we receive is very complex, and what we do with it is how we show our respect. So when you go up north, or when you go downtown over here to the north end, or when you go over to your relative, wherever they might live, you knock on their front door, what's the first thing they offer to you? Coffee and a food. And then you sit down. And you sit down with that person and they say, what? How are you? Tell me a story. How are you? Tell me how you're doing. Tell me how your relative's doing. Tell me about Auntie. And then once you're finished your story, what do you say to them? Tell me a story. Tell me a story of what are you doing lately? What's going on? Everything what I just described to you, every part of what I described to you of me giving you something and you giving me something back, reciprocal and equally, is the basis for how law has operated for thousands of years in this territory. For thousands of years, going all the way back to the very first creation of who we are as human beings, as Anishinaabe. Anybody recognize this? 1 year ago, we decided to, all of us, decided to give a little wake-up call to this country. We decided to give an invitation to this country to dance, to sing, to think about the past 150 years that have made up the basis for this place. Do you see on the bottom right-hand corner? These are all of the events that happened on January 28th of 2013, and it's global. And we were dancing, right? We were dancing and we were singing. And we were dancing and we were singing where? In malls and Portage and Maine. We were dancing together in the places that we made into beautiful song and opportunity. And nobody had any signs up there that said Native people only. At the Polo Park Round Dance, how many people were there at the Polo Park Round Dance? The biggest one that we had. 4,000 people came. 4,000 people, and we remade that place. And we've done it again. We did it a month ago. And when we remade those places, what was the number one thing that stopped happening in that mall when we were dancing? Nobody was shopping. We made a place out of beauty, we made a place out of song, and we made a place that is made out of profit into something else. I Don't Know More was about three things, and continues to be about three things. The first is the repeal of the omnibus legislation that divides all of us and continues to divide all of us as now law. The two parts that I don't have to tell all of you what those two parts are, but the removal of the protection of our water from hundreds into below 100, and the removal of that protection of the water so that there's no environmental assessments necessary anymore. And you can build things like a pipeline without ever consulting anyone, without ever even asking the question, how is that going to affect that water? And then the second part of that is the removal of our territories with virtually no consultation. All you have to do is declare a vote in a small amount of period, and whoever shows up for that vote, if they want to use a project to build on our First Nations, whoever shows up at that vote on a Friday night, they could call that vote at 3 in the morning if they wanted to. And whoever shows up for that vote at that time will be taken, that project will go through. And I'm going to tell you a little story about what that looks like right here in Manitoba in a minute. But the second situation of what caused I Don't Know More is our aunties and our uncles and our mothers sitting in communities like Attawapiskat, where baby bottles are freezing on the counter, or in Lake St. Martin, where our relatives are sitting in a hotel now going on 3 years for the flooding in their community, or the situation of the pollution of water that continues to happen over and over and over again. Idle no more was about asking for more for those people, asking for more for our relatives. And the third is the consistent and continual abuse of First Nations people for 150 years now, from the banning of our ceremonies, from the banning of our dress, from the banning of us to vote until 1960, and the final acceptance that we are a part of this country for now going on 50 years. We are now recognized as a part of this country, and that it continues to begin, or it continues to enable an abusive cycle, which we're going to see. I'm going to show you what it looks like in just a minute.